From the top of West Michigan, the new B1039 is WBZX Big Rapids. The 80s and more. B1039.
Morning sun lights the day, Pat and Brian on the way. Stories of small town life. Sports and joy cut like a knife. Hot stove leading full chat. High school dreams and college stats. Wednesday morning, tales unfold, memories and news retold. Tune in B1039, Curries voice and life's sweet line. Sheriff Miller by his side, lively bluegrass, hearts fly.
Brought to you by Big Rapids Tire, Zott's Bar and Grill, Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes, M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing, and by M&M Collision Center.
The seasons are
All right, there we are. Okay.
Hey, good morning, America.
I didn't know if you were ready or not, so there you go. Okay, now we're ready.
Any more, Bob?
No, we're all set. I'll shut up for the next hour.
You did a nice introduction there. That was a good one, Bob.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, good morning, everybody out there in Wonderland. There's beautiful America that we live in. A little bit chilly this morning, a little windy, but we got Brian Miller, the sheriff from Acosta County, in here with me. Co-partner, and we got Bob Ulrich on 1039. This morning we have probably the most popular name in the western side of the state. This guy has done a lot for Big Rapids and Ferris, put us on the map. And, there's always good out of something that happens that's bad. And this, what do you call it? You're buying these players. What is that called?
Nil.
Pardon?
Nil.
Neil. No. Coach Anise, good morning. What is
morning.
it called?
How are you guys?
What happened to the portal?
The portal.
The portal, yeah. Actually, the portal is hurting a lot of teams. Obviously, it didn't hurt you this year, but who knows? At the end, maybe, but not right now anyway, and we're thankful for that. But I guess the portal did a lot for Ferris and Big Rapids because it put us on the map nationally now with Trinidad going down to Mississippi State there, or whatever it's called. Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And, Ferris has mentioned probably more this year nationally than ever in the history of Ferris State. We're very thankful for that. And I want to thank you, Tony, because I tell the story in the gas station about him getting up here. And remember, it was my story, not yours. But how you got him was, if I'm correct, is his coach called you and said, you better look at this young man. And it was during the basketball season, I think I remember. And you went down and watched him play basketball and said, yeah, I'll take him. Yeah, and you took him, and the rest is history. Is that right?
Yeah, we were recruiting him, during football season. I went and watched him play in person down at Forest Hills Northern, and so my son Steve recruits that area, and he was pushing me, and back then, it was one of those things where, we knew he was talented, but we didn't know whether or not he was really going to be physical enough, fast enough, and also have the work ethic that we look for. And so all those are unknowns, but when I watch him play basketball, I'm like, oh my gosh, this dude's unbelievable. And so we offered him, and the rest is history.
Well, how come, it is history, and you're just a great guy, but how come nobody else looked at him? I can't believe it. Now he's on national scale of one of the best quarterbacks out there, and comes from actually a little town of Grand Rapids, right, or whatever is down there in that area, and you picked him up, and you really, athletics and athletes, I know, and what transitioned him into being who he is then? Because at the time, he was just an average football player in the average state of Michigan. And then
it's same story with a lot of our guys. I mean, Zach Sealer was the same kind of situation where it took him 3 years before he stepped on the field here, and now he's a MVP of an NFL team. Or Javier Thomas, who's been in the NFL. Both those guys been in the NFL since 2018. It took him a while here, and so it's just the way things work. There's just you have the right attitude, have the right kind of work ethic, have the belief in yourself that you can continue to grow. The problem is a lot of young people, when they don't play right away, they mentally die. You know what I mean? Like they kill their growth, and these guys never killed their growth. They didn't play right away, but they never killed their growth. They worked it every day, and you know how it is, man. I mean, you built a business that way. Just work it every day, and before long, I mean, miracles can happen, and that's what's happened with Trinidad and the rest of our guys too.
Let's be honest. There's a lot of opportunity and some luck that comes with it when you get to be that successful.
Yeah. I defended you the other day. A couple of guys were saying to me that, well, Tony's got Division I players. And I says, Tony recruits those guys out of high school, and he has a transfer now and then from Division III. But I says, most of his guys come in out of a mediocre high school that Division I don't look at, and he picks them up and he makes them into Division. Now, if you want to give him credit, and your coaching staff all together, they all need to deserve credit. But you guys do turn these guys into Division I players, starting at the level of Division II. I mean, they were going nowheres if they didn't go to Ferris, right? I mean, they would just be recruited by maybe a lesser college or
Division II or III, NAIA, something.
But you guys work on, and you guys really get some good guys that really buy into your program, don't they?
Yeah, all of our offensive starters, that's 11 guys, all 11 of them were recruited by Ferris, came to Ferris, and have been here, and that's the only place they've ever been is Ferris. So all of our 11 starters on offense are that way. So, you build an offensive line that way, and again, all 5 of those starters came to Ferris out of high school. Brady Rose was a superstar player out of Mona Shores, but, he was undersized, so nobody really went for him. Carson Gawker was a superstar player out of Zeeland West, but he was a quarterback, big guy, but nobody offered him at the Division II level. So that list goes on and on, I mean, Reek is probably our most dynamic athlete. He was from Georgia, and nobody really recruited him at the Division I level. And we drove all the way down south of Atlanta to see him, and that's Tariq Brett, and he's a super athlete. So, the list goes on and on of guys that, came here and just keep on growing. And it's a credit to our strength staff because our guys, literally keep growing. Like Trinidad went from 172 pounds to 202 pounds. I mean, think about 30 pounds of muscle put on your body. I mean, that's pretty incredible stuff. And so that's been kind of what we've been able to do. I mean, it started with Jason Vanderlaan, Justin Zimmer, Jake Lampman. Those 3 guys all went to the NFL, and they were just freaks in the weight room. Stronger than anybody in the nation, truthfully, at all levels. And so they just kind of, and back then we had a horrible weight room. Our facility stunk, but yet our guys just went to work in the weight room. And so that's a big part of our culture, and that's, it's amazing what you can do when you work that hard and, train your body to be, that way.
You got to be pretty proud of the people you've mentored over your life. We'll jump on the coaching staffs of other universities right now. I believe you have a coach over in Saginaw, Davenport, obviously. We all know that one. And then Northwood. You placed about every Division II competitor out there that came from your staff, isn't it, pretty much?
Yeah, it's been a pretty cool blessing to see, guys that used to be with us now move forward, I mean, 3 of them coach at the University of Michigan, So right now, Steve Kasula, who, was here, he's now Michigan's co-offensive coordinator. Lou Esposito is Michigan's D-line coach, and Travis Russell, who played for us and coached for us, is, he's the assistant quarterback coach, and so talk to those guys a lot. It's really cool,
Sunday, probably making more than you
morning.
Tony's kind of like Bill Walsh back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Sunday morning, talked to Coach Kasula and talked about our game and Michigan's game and the whole deal. So that's the way it is. We're proud of that. Our best, probably biggest guy is Dylan Roney, who, played for us in 17 and then coached for us for 1 year, and then he moved on, and now he coaches for the Los Angeles Chargers. So
wow.
Yeah, it's really cool to see, and it's amazing. It's a blessing for sure.
It is. I love it when you say a blessing, because I know you do believe in God and fate, and you're destined to be a good man, and you are. Hey, let's just start off Monday morning. A lot of guys ask me, I wonder what kind of life he has. I mean, he's dedicated his whole life to football. I said, yeah, pretty much. And I said, I'm going to ask him that question. Let's start off with Monday morning. We'll go right through Sunday. What's the day of Tony Anise? What time?
So we're starting on Monday. We're in the office with staff meeting at 8:30 in the morning. And then throughout that day, we're just basically studying film. We get the film of every single opponent, every game, and so there's a lot to watch. And so we have some meetings with the kids. We do some special teams meetings. I'm the punt coach, so we got to worry about that. Typically, I go over and do the TV show at 12:30, and then we're still in the office working to prepare for the Tuesday practice. And then Tuesday morning, 8:30 in the morning again. And then we just basically, talk about the plays we want to run, both, in every which way, what do we run when we're backed up? What do we run on 1st and 10? What's our 3rd and short plays? What's our goal line offense play? So that's all has to be done on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. So we're going to the practice field here at 11, practicing in the snow probably. But so we do that, and then after practice, our guys come in and we watch film together. So today we'll practice till 1, and then our guys will be in at 1:30 watching film with us. And then we let them break, and then we stay in the office and work. And then Thursday afternoon is kind of the game plan's in. So I go home when the weather's better. I mow the lawn and do those kind of things. But Friday, I don't have to be in the office till 11, so I got a little bit of time in the morning. And so I spend a lot of time, just taking care of the house and doing all those kind of things. And then Saturday, basically we have team breakfast if we're in town at Crankers. So we always have a team meal 4 hours before the game, and Jim does a great job. So we'll, if it's a 7 p.m. game, then we have like a lunch at 3 p.m. And so it's always 4 hours before, but now all of our games are at 1 until, we'll see what happens. But so we go to team meal, then we have the game, and then after the game I go straight home, chill out for a little bit, and then start getting ready for the next day. And then Sunday's a big work day, so a lot of people don't realize that you go straight from Saturday game to Sunday, a lot of work to get prepared for the next opponent. So the high school football gig was a lot better than the college gig when it comes to having 1 day off, because you play on Friday, so on Saturday you can take a breath and that kind of stuff. But so Saturday after my game, I always hope that my kids come or my grandkids come, or Sunday morning they typically come. So I've got 3 grandkids and 4 kids, 2 of which coach for me. And so I see a lot of my family, which is cool, and it's a big part of, my family loves what we do, and it's a big part of, our program. And really, I mean, truthfully, it's a big part of, why I love Big Rapids and why I've stayed here this long. His family's huge. My son-in-law is from Big Rapids, Nate Hamill, and so Big Rapids is a big part of who we are and what we value.
Big compliment to your folks, though, that you cherish those moments with family. Talk about your grandkids. Do they talk to you about football, and how old are they now, and what's their names? Yeah,
right now it's Stella's 3, Kobe just turned 2, and Si's 1. So they're they know, I think, a little bit about what Grandpa does, but they also I don't think internalize it entirely what football is. But they have fun. They love being up here and seeing the Bulldogs and going downtown and seeing the Bulldogs, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well,
there was an event last Saturday, right? Saturday.
Yeah. We had the parade.
Biggest one.
It was
yet.
what?
We had the what is it called? Festival of Lights Parade. Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Festival of Lights Parade. So my daughter Allie, her husband Nate, and Kobe went to that. So that's cool, right? It's a cool thing to have them a part of the community like that.
You have what we call here in Big Rapids, and we all are, a winning tradition. Year in and year out, you just guys, you don't really reload. You just build it for another season, and it's got to be kind of tough and wearing. Have you felt it as you get a little older that you get a little tired easier now than you used to, or is it just the blood just flows in veins and says, no, I can do this, and I'm going to keep doing this forever?
That's a great question. So, obviously, we have big expectations for ourselves, but, coming off a national championship team and losing 8 kids to the portal, that was stressful. And then because you're the reigning national champ, they rank you number 1 in the nation preseason, which is crazy. That's just a crazy, thing to have happen. And then, you're playing a redshirt freshman quarterback. Trinidad would have been here for a couple more years, and all of a sudden you got to plug in all these other guys to play for the guys that left. And then all of the expectations, and then ranked number 1. And so, you don't want it to burden you. And I don't think it burdens the kids, but it burdens me a little bit, because then I'm like, holy crap. We got to grind through this. And then, so what a blessing, right, to go 11-0 and be make it through the whole year undefeated. It's so hard to do, like we here at Ferris, we celebrate the 1968 team that's undefeated, and which is cool. But I don't know, I think we might have had 6 undefeated seasons in the regular season since we've been here. So it's amazing. I don't even know. People always want to know what the secret sauce is, and I'm like, I have no idea, man. Our guys are crazy committed. A lot of times when you win at the level we've won, complacency might, seep in, and the players, might not be, at their level best. Maybe, in the off season and the winter and the spring, it's easy to slip, and so, I'm ultra paranoid about slipping, of course, but it's easy to slip. It's easy to be, not at your best and not grow at the level you need to grow to be good. And so, it's been incredible for our guys. It's just our players are just so committed, and they're so, they're just so grounded. Nothing gets, they don't get the big head. They don't sit and say, oh, we won the national championship 3 of the last 4 years, so we don't have to do this now or something like that. They're not. That's just not built that way. And so that's incredible. It's such a unbelievable thing to do. And so, yeah, Pat, it amazes me. My players amaze me virtually every day, like every day, like I'm amazed. So that keeps me fresh and energetic because, I mean, how can it be better when you're with a group of young men, that are so driven? It just makes me driven, and then, you got the alumni that, they'll send you notes here and there, and then so you're doing something that's pretty meaningful. Like I was just texting with Jake Doherty here this morning, and he said, I'm going to be up there. Are you going to be at practice? I said, yeah, 11 to 1. He goes, oh, I don't think I'll make it there. I'll see you at your office after. That's great. And so these people, they're friends for life. They're just great human beings that I'll love for the rest of my life.
Yeah, Brian.
Just listening to your voice and how excited you are, and how I guess the amount of humbleness that I think I hear from you when you talk about the success you've had, and putting it off on the other coaches, the players, but just kind of made me really smile sitting here with Pat. I looked and I was like, that's why the team is successful as it has been, is because of the humbleness that I'm seeing, from you.
I think that comes from, and correct me if you think I'm wrong, Tony, I think it comes from you wearing a T-shirt when you were little in that small town of Owasso. You didn't grow up with
Corona.
Oh, boy, them are fighting words, probably.
Owasso.
Well, your neighbors to
Corona, you know that, right?
Yeah. Well, hats off to Owasso. They got a plug in here. But don't you think that small town atmosphere brought you up to where you are today? I know your dad was a great guy and mentored you too to what you are today, and mother in your family, but that had a lot to do with it, didn't it? To be humble.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you grow up a certain way, and that's all you know. That's the way you are raised and the way you're built, And so, my dad definitely had a huge impact on me as a coach and as a person. And so, I mean, I couldn't do it any other way than the way he guided me to do it. And so, and my mom was a huge inspiration for me as well, and a sister and brothers. And so, yeah, growing up that way, and my dad served in World War II, and so, you knew how to honor, the right kind of principles. And so if you didn't, my dad wouldn't have it for sure.
All right. So now that being said, you've mentored a lot of people, and I'm sure you put coaches clinics on, right?
Absolutely.
But do they not listen? Because you have one of the greatest programs ever in Division II. I mean, I remember back when Grand Valley dominated. I think they dominated for 2 years. They won the national championship. You've got 4, and you've dominated year in and out ever since you came here. And you've lost some really good people that went on to better themselves, you might say, for their careers, and you can't blame them for that, but they don't beat you. And so there's something there that all of us would like to know what it is about Tony. Now I'm going to go on with another little episode of my conversation. I was sitting in the end zone watching a game, and these guys were standing there with me, and you were down. And they were hooting and hollering, what's going on? Come on, this and that, which is, that's fan base, right? And I looked at him, I says, where's your faith? I said, where's your faith for Tony? This man has brought us so much to this community. For you guys, you better step back and take a breath. Because, I can remember back in the 70s when we were lucky to be 2 and